Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. I hope you all are well. Today I'm going to talk about the two TV, the older QN90A and the Sony Oled 8TJ. QN90A, it's a mini LED TV. Actually, its picture is powered by an array of mini light cells using mini LED lights, promising dramatic improvements in contrast and backlight control. If you see the picture quality, it's brighter. Mini LED is very brighter, and A80J is inkier black levels, but less bright. The mini LEDs works with Neo Quantum Processor 4K to deliver 4K optimized picture, but I also like the Sony OLED. Its motion performance is very good. Watching the all Halloween spectacular episode of WandaVision on Disney Plus, the set could show off how it handles motion and high contrast scenes. As Wanda extends the reach of her hex, the sword camp is tuned into a traveling Cyrus. Even as the agents try to escape the growing boundary, you can see their uniforms and equipment transform seamlessly into clown garb and colorful tents, except when a curious vision reaches the hex's boundary, glowing in dark fields. There seems to be a bit of blooming as well as occasional vignetting in the corners on QN90A. The HDR capabilities of the QN90A are excellent, but it does highlight the quirk of Samsung TVs. While the high dynamic range performance is great, the HDR formats are a bit limited. Samsung doesn't support the best HDR format, Dolby Vision using its proprietary HDR10 Plus format instead. These are signs of uneven backlight issues, perhaps the expense of Neo QLED's brightness boost. But the average viewer probably won't notice it much, or at least won't care when you see just how bright this set can get. Even in a room flooded with sunlight, the Samsung QN90's picture held up much clearer than LG G1 and Samsung Q80T in side-by-side testing. The anti-reflection abilities are pretty impressive, handling the shadowy and ominous golden armor fight scene in Wonder Woman 1984 well. As Diana fought Cheetah, Wonder Woman's gilded wings looked majestic and regal, yet not out of place in the dark, foggy settings. The set could have identified the armor as the focus point of the scene and enhanced it to a cartoonish effect. But it produced a balanced picture, QN90A, likely as the filmmaker intended. Again, this is testament to Neo QLED's brightness, since the observations in a natural lit room. When I tried the scene in darkness, not only did it look fantastic, but I realized I wouldn't need the lamps in my living room in the evening. The set literally lit up the apartment. Samsung Q90 and Neo QLED TV beyond my anecdotal viewing experience. LED TVs have always beat out OLED on brightness, but the QN90A blows away anything we have ever seen. It reached a maximum brightness of nearly 1900 nits. The LG G1 OLED TV reached a maximum brightness of just 412 nits for comparison. And it's not just OLED sets. The QN90A trams the quantum powered VGO P series and TCL 6 series R635 maxed out of 471 nits and 583 nits respectively. This TV accuracy with a delta E rating, a smaller score is ideal, 0 is perfect, and the QN90A earned 2.6, offering an improvement over the QATT's score of 3.9. It's also close to the VGO P series and TCL 6 series R635, which both scored 2.2. LG's OLED panels still have a clear edge in accuracy, with the LG G1 earning a 1.6 and last year's Sony A80J Bravia OLED TV earning 1.5. When it comes to color reproduction, which we measure using a X-Rite I1 Pro spectrometer and Spectra Kalman Ultimate Calibration software. The Samsung QN90A Neo QLED was able to reproduce 99.51% of the record's 709 color space. Anything approaching 100% is good for a non-OLED TV, and this QLED scored in a range of others like the Vizio P series 99.90% and TCL6 series 99.92%. Gamers will be glad to know the Samsung QN90A has one of the best lag times you will find. This unit measured lag time of 12.6 milliseconds with its auto low latency mode, a huge improvement over the QATT's 30.1 milliseconds. Usually, I recommend sets with a lag time below 20 milliseconds for the best gaming TVs, and the addition of gaming focused features make the QN90A Neo QLED an excellent choice for gamers. And if you see the A80J, the big question is, of course, how much of the A90J's awesome picture performance does the A80J offer? The answer is perhaps surprisingly is most of it. It's clear that A80J can't hit quite the same peak brightness as QN90, and presumably because it doesn't have the A90J's added heatsink, but it's not a million miles away. That means it's a punchy performer in its own right, often producing more impactful peaks. The sun glinting of the planet of Scary, for example, than the LG C1, though not the newer, brighter C2. What's more, the 80J's bright highlights are packed with detailed color and shading that most TVs missing, giving the clouds above planets beaches a dramatic level of three-dimensionality and lending weather's light savor a more menacing vibrancy. Turning my attention to the other end of the contrast spectrum, while LG's 2021 OLEDs generally prioritize inky blackness, the Sony A80J skews slightly more towards shadow detail, digging up extra shades in the darkest parts of the picture. It is still capable of going perfectly black when required, of course, and when that's combined with those extra bright, full-bodied bright highlights, it makes for a thrillingly dynamic viewing experience. For general sharpness and detail, the 80J more or less matches the flagship A90J, and that puts it head and shoulders above most rivals in those regards. Every shot is magnificently crisp, but you don't get any of the sense of exaggeration that you do from some rivals that take a similar approach. That crispness combines with the set's hugely impressive ability to dig up the finest of details to make images brilliantly lifelike, where it's a wide landscape shot or an intense close-up of a character's face. The fine balance between excitement and naturalism continues with the colors, which the ATJ delivers with a perfect blend of vibrancy and subtlety. This TV delivers all of the vivid thrills you could hope for from Rogue One's space battles, Mad Max Fury Roads, flame-throwing car convoy, and Blade Runner 2049's neon-lit city. But you never feel as if any of the bright colors are overcooked, and picture elements that require a gentler touch, such as a character's skin or leather coat, are reproduced with nuance. Where it comes to motion handling, the ATJ proves itself to be every bit as accomplished as the A90J, and that makes it better than every non-Sony TV. Extremely testing moments in Blade Runner 2049, such as Case car cruising behind some skyscrapers in Chapter 2, and in a later scene, hurtling towards the ground, are handled with nary a hint of the incredibly complex processing going on behind the scenes. LG's 2021 and 2022 OLEDs, which are broadly very good handlers of motion, can't quite keep things as well in check, and the car flutters as the TV struggles to keep track of its movement against the other picture elements. Of course, you can't live on a televisual diet of 4K HDR alone, so it's good news that the 80J also makes the most of lower resolution HDR signals. What's particularly noticeable is how punchy it is with this content. Whether you are watching Blu-ray or HD content, Big Mouth on Netflix, and or the Andrew Marr show from the tuner in standard definition. The image pops in a way that most rivals can't match, albeit not quite as much as the A90J. With all of these signals, the performance is as clean, controlled, and detailed as can reasonably be expected, proving that the A80J is very accomplished upscaler. The A80J is essentially the same TV as the A90J, but with the punch dialed down a notch or two, and that makes it an extremely impressive performer indeed. So on black level performance, I like the QN90A. Actually, both TV mini LED have some stronger part and OLED have some stronger part. But overall, A80J is a killer TV. So which TV you like? You prefer mini LED or OLED? Please write in the comments below. That's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. Thanks for watching.